All right, before I begin, I want to say rest in peace to Samaya Spain. Rest in peace to Samaya Spain. This was about two sisters that was out and they rejected a man's advance and they wound up taking a life. Sit back, relax. We're going to talk about this. This is a serious topic and this is what needs to be talked about. All right? All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. This was about Samaya Spain. 19-year-old Samaya Spain was stabbed in the neck and the chest for rejecting a boy's advance. How did we get here in society is what I want to know. How did we get here? A 19-year-old girl was stabbed in the chest and the neck. Her twin sister was stabbed in the arm and witnessed the brutal murder. All this started from them going to a party across the street from the little bodega. When they was done with the party, they walked over there to get their zoom zooms and wham whams and, whatever. You know, that's my jail talk, zoom zooms and wham whams, right? But they went and get their little munchies, right? To, take it in for the night. And a young man tried to holler at them because, of course, they was looking good, looked the way they looked, He tried to holler at them, and the young lady just allegedly politely said, "I'm not interested," And the dude said something like, "Yeah, what are you, crazy? Who you think you are? You ain't nobody. You ain't all that. You ain't cute." Now she's not cute, but he wanted to holler at her. How did we get here? You see how we have psychological trauma that follows us, and we need to pray for these young men as well that's involved in this because they're part of our community and we dropped the ball somewhere. I know I dropped the ball when I decided to poison my community and sell drugs and wound up in prison and was taken away from my own children. I have a daughter, right? Let me say this. I have a daughter, right? I got a few daughters, so they ain't gonna know who I'm talking about. Anytime I say daughter, each one think you're talking about them. That's the same thing like when I say rat bastards. Every rat bastard in earshot, they be like, "Oh, he talking about me, he talking about me." No, I'm just talking in general. If you feel the shoe fits, you wear it. Now, my daughter, when I came home, was talking to me real crazy. You know what I mean? I've never had a human being talk to me like my daughter was talking to me. This is my own daughter, And I politely just told her, "Yo, pump your brakes," And she just kept pressing the gas. I said, "Baby, pump your brakes. What are you doing?" Like, where are we going with this? And she's pushing and pushing like if, not only that I'm not her father, that I'm not a man. But I haven't been in for 26 years because I dropped the ball, so I knew I had to wear that, and I knew this was backed up daddy issues or whatever they was going through, which was fully understand. I understand my daughters, you understand? But they need to understand me. I'm a gangster, ex-gangster, whatever you want to call it. So you rat bastards, you play with that and run with it on social media. I'm a gangster. I was raised a gangster. I don't let no one disrespect me, and I don't disrespect anyone. Someone disrespect me, then I handle it. If it's not worth killing, it's not worth fighting for. You see the jewels you get? Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And you know that my Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you hit the logo and it says it was created in 2020. Because I just gave you a jewel that could take you forever through life. If it's not worth killing, it's not worth fighting or arguing for. Sometimes we have to know when to just be the bigger person and say nothing because you don't know how small-minded the next person is and how they might take it. All right? So I had to tell my daughter, I ain't going to get into details because, and I'm even going to say it publicly. I apologize to my daughter and my daughters, that I had to put my gangster foot down on. But that's just because they wasn't used to having a gangster, full-fledged man around them for the 26 years that I was gone. And that's my fault. I understand that. But I still had to stand up for myself, not only as a father, but as a man, because I became a man before I became a father. And I have to respect the foundation of who I am. Just like I was on the streets, you know, violating the law and everything that I'm trying to tell the youth not to do right now. Before anything else, before fatherhood. Let's take that. We're going to get real deep. Before fatherhood. So the moral of that statement is, at the end of the day, I'm a man and I'm a gangster before I'm a father. I know you rat bastards and trolls don't understand that, but that's my foundation. That's what developed me into the man that I am today. My past psychological traumas that I now know how to control, and I'm still working on it, you know. But these young men, right, they're lost. You know, let's just say that. Because I tell you now, wherever they at right now, 99 out of 100, you know, times, they regret what they did. They never expected it to turn out like that. But the way, and I'm not down in the young ladies or nothing, but I'm just keeping it 100 because that's what we do here. So hopefully y'all share this with the young ladies so you understand. The way the young ladies is treating the males of today, because the men of yesterday was taken out of their lives. So now today they have no male figure, not just father figure, to follow. So on the strength of that, they say anything out their mouth and don't know what they're dealing with. I know when I go on the street, I'm not going to go arguing with a dude on the train. You know what I mean? You see what happened last week. I'm not going to go arguing with a dude at the bus stop. You see what happened with the bus about a year or so ago. So I know not to say anything. I was at a training last week for, I think it's called Ride. You know, yes, that's ironic, right? Because you already know I like to ride. You know, I was with a training for a group called Ride down on 118th and 116, 117 in Lenox, you know, or maybe Lexington, somewhere down there. But anyway, I'm down there, and while we was talking, a young man made a statement that I was so proud of him for. He said, man, when I go out, right, and this is a nice-sized dude, and he's far from a coward. He's an ex, you know, street brother. You know, but now he's trying to work with the youth with me. He said, when I go out in public or when I'm in the train, I try not to make eye contact with people. He says he tried not to make eye contact with people because New York is a frame of mind, mentality driven place where you could look at someone in the eyes and all their demons come up and they could see the joy in your eyes, the happiness in your eyes, and it irks them where now they're going to say, what you looking at, nigga? Yo, I'm not looking at nothing. I'm just enjoying life, you know? Nah, what you mean you enjoying life? Ain't nothing good about it. Now they want to argue. But you see how you open the door by even responding? And that's why this young man said, don't make eye contact. So I'm going to give the ladies a jewel, the same ones I gave my daughters, you know? Do not open your mouth to argue with a man in public. There is no such thing as arguing with a man in public because you don't know where the man would take it. She did the right thing and said, I'm not interested. But then he cussed her out, and he probably called her, you know, allegedly cussed her out, and probably called her all kinds of B's and H's and everything else under the sun. But by him doing that, you know what I mean? Now, her as a strong black woman that was raised to be boisterous and speak her mind and stand on morals and principles, she's like, nah, I'm not going to let this nigga talk to me like that. So she cussed him back out. But the first word she said opened the floodgates for his mentality to say, hold up, who she thinks she is? I cuss out who I want to talk. I'm just the dude from the street. 'Cause that's where our mentality is at when we on the street. That's why I'm trying to tell the youngins, yo, it's not worth it. Get off the street, man, because a lot of things that come with this that I'm going to point out ahead of time so you don't have to go through it in order to experience the hell that I've been through. Not only for the 26 years I was incarcerated, but for the other 29 years that I was on the street before I was incarcerated and getting life plus 20. You cannot argue with people, young ladies and young men. Arguing leads to violence because you don't know how the next person's ego is going to respond to that. Because the ego plays a big part in that, you know. The man's, pride said, man, I know I could get this chick. Yeah, she bad and she got a twin sister. Oh, I could do this and that. You know what I mean? It's where a man's mind is at. And then when he pushes up and say, yo, excuse me, baby, what's up? And she's like, oh, no, I'm not interested. I'm just trying to get my zooms and whams that I learned how to say from Unique Mecca Audio and take my butt home, And then he probably came off, who you think you is? And right there, she wasn't supposed to say nothing. I was with a young lady last week. I was with one of my co-workers, right? She come all the way from Brooklyn. She says she coming up from Brooklyn. She on the train. There's a dude on the train. He's, he's going off, doing, he's talking loud and not even to her, just talking crazy, And then, same thing, they asked him, what are you looking at? You understand? Asked him, what are you looking at? And when he asked him, what are you looking at? She responded and said, I'm not looking at nothing. And from there, the dude reached out and spit at this female, and it almost got in her face. So you could imagine how she felt at that. You know what I mean? It's just crazy that this is happening like that. I'm responding to my joint, because like I said, the number on the screen. I respond to my number. I respond to my call. Listen, if I'm busy, I don't respond to time. That's why I say to leave, a voicemail, and I respond to them first. But please remember that I'm doing this for you on the strength of trying to be there for you. But I still have a life. If I'm living my life and I'm busy, like yesterday, I spent it with my mother, you know what I mean? And my little sister had a birthday party, get together. So, of course, I'm not going to be able to answer the phone. But don't take it personal like something is wrong because I didn't answer the phone. It just don't work that way, So let's just get this thing straight so that y'all understand what's really going on, right? But let me get back to the story. I got sidetracked, man. Bottom line is respect the women. You know what I mean? Yeah, just, yo, hold on. I'm making a video. I'll call you right back, right? So this is where we at right now. See, I'm getting all these distractions. Now, imagine if my life is like this and I'm answering the phone every time somebody calls. But do y'all understand what I'm really saying, or you just there to be there? You have to respect, the people around you and know that you have to think for them because they're crash dummies. Here it is. A young girl gets stabbed, right? A young girl gets stabbed for telling the dude that she's not interested. Like, where do they get that at? I can't fathom that for the life of me. That's what you call mental health. The mental health is so bad out here because they're ignoring the symptoms. Because in our community, when we do something mentally twisted, you say, little Joey just wild out. That's little Joey. You know what I mean? Oh, he's always bugging. You know what I mean? I don't pay him no mind. No, you need to pay him some mind so he don't wind up taking a beautiful young sister like Samaya Spain's life because she rejected him. We see these signs growing up. I saw the signs that I was a nut growing up. I saw all the signs that I was a nut growing up, I ignored it. Everybody else around me ignored it and said, man, you that nigga. And I used my nutness to think that that's what being a man was about. Because there was no one to give it to me. That's why we over here, Unique Mecca Audio now, we give it to you like it is. Back in the days, they was throwing bottles at females for not talking to them. Meaning, dude try to holler at female, she don't talk to him, dude throws 40 at her. Get you out of here. You know what I mean? It was just total disrespect. Total disrespect, let me say that. But All they trying to do is impress their friends. But I don't think I recall a time when somebody actually pulled a knife, or even a gun and shot or stabbed a female for rejecting them. So we have to get these young brothers some help, and the young men and women that's listening some understanding and help as well, to understand that we can't sit here and think that we could talk to anyone any kind of way. I'm Unique Mecca Audio. I know I can't talk to anyone any kind of way because I don't know how their response is going to be, and I know how my response to their response is going to be, and I don't want to wind up getting another 26 years in prison, so I know to stay away from the bull crap, But, to kill a female because she rejected you, that's sad. We need to really come together and work with our society, because there's so much about trying to impress friends more than anything. You never know what someone else is going through, So if you respond to somebody crazy, he ain't got to be crazy. Like I said, the young lady was on the train last week, and, dude was talking all crazy. He asked her, "What you looking at?" She said, "I ain't looking at nothing." And from there, he wanted to fight and went and spit at her. She had to jump back, landed on the shoe. She said she would have been horrified if it would have landed in her face. I said, well, don't ever become a correction officer, because I threw a lot of feces in officers' faces for not doing what they were supposed to do. If they didn't do their job, I acted out. You know what I mean? Not proud of it, but just letting you know. So you youngins know, don't go to jail so you don't have to go playing with your feces, throwing it at the police just to get a clean T-shirt, because they haven't given you a T-shirt when you locked in a cell for 6 months, and they haven't given you a T-shirt in a week. And you wearing the same T-shirt, you washing it out, trying to let it dry, and, come on, man. And then now they don't want to give it to you. And only thing they understand in the prison is violence. So, we make what we call, the bomb dookie. You know what I mean? The bomb dookie is where you put the feces in the bottle with the urine and if you want to really, bomb them official, you get a rotten egg. You just get a boiled egg, and you just let it sit, and you take that yolk and you stick all the yolks in that bottle with that. And you know what rotten yolks smell like, with feces and urine, and then you close the bottle up and you shake it and you leave it in the sun and let it cook and bake. And when you get that officer that come by that think he cut like that, but he refused to open the door so you could get a fair one, then you just say, not telling you to do it, but this is what goes on, so we don't want you to go to prison after do this, so straighten your life up. You grab that little, it normally be like a shampoo bottle. Let's say a little bottle like this. You take a little bottle like this, but it'd be the big one though, the big shampoo bottle. But you take that and you squeeze it all in their face and let them know you's a coward. If you don't fight me after I squirt my feces in your face, that means you's a coward. And that's how the mentality was in prison, in the penitentiary. That's why when these dudes come up here and they want to talk about like, oh, prison wasn't this, prison wasn't that. Yo, you go on the visiting hall, they tell you to bend over and spread. They tell you to bend over and spread them, and they don't mean your arms. You know what I mean? And then then you get the he cipher, monkey ciphers that might even want to get a flashlight, and that's where you got to really just stand up for your manhood and hook off for them. So, because there was certain officers that would do things to dudes, and the dudes would come back and they'll tell us like, yo, could you believe that dude put a flashlight to look up my joint? You'd be like, yo, you didn't kick him? You know what I mean? And he'd be like, nah, but be like, whoa, so now I know who this officer is. So when I go out on the visit hall and they got like 5 officers and they got like, randomly going up to whoever's open next, if it's time to go to him, I tell him straight up, I'm not going with this he cipher, monkey cipher. You know what I mean? And he'd be like, nah, come on, you next. Nah, I'm not dealing with you. You know what I mean? Because this is not going to turn out right. I heard about your tendencies, and they used to get mad because I put them on blast, because a lot of inmates would just keep it amongst themselves, but I tell them straight up, man, I know you're a he cipher, monkey cipher. You ain't coming at me with no flashlight and all this old freak crap. You know what I mean? Stop it. You know what I mean? But don't get it wrong. I had to bend over and spread them too. You know what I mean? So you youngins go to jail, you will be bending over and spreading them according to what they do. You know what I mean? But if that ain't the most degrading thing to tell you to bend over and spread not your arms. You know, let's say. So that's why I had no remorse. I'm just keeping it 100 because, you know, we don't do no faking here. That's why the rat bastards don't like me. You know, let me see how to put this. Yo, I want to put this because this is YouTube, so I got to put it in the right perspective. I didn't have no remorse for throwing feces on them whatsoever. Because I couldn't get my hands on them, so I just wanted to degrade them the same way they degraded me and told me to bend over and spread them. So, any chance I got to degrade them, back in the day, let's ride. You know, back in the day when I first started the bid, I enjoyed the first 10 years of my bid. You know, I got locked up in 93, then come home to 2020, but all the way up to about 2003. I'm not going to say 2003, up to about 2000, well, when I went to ADX, because when I came out, everything changed. But before I went to, so I say 99, before I went to ADX, right, the police would actually take their little walkie-talkie off and go in the cell and give you a fair one. And if you whooped the police, he shook your hand. And if you whooped the police, you shook his hand. But we didn't have to stab the police. The police didn't have to lie on us to give us a shot to get us off the compound. But that's what they do now after like 99, 2000. But back then, police, yo, I'm trying to tell the police straight up, yo, I'm trying to see you, man. I don't like your attitude. You know who you talking to? It's the police talking to you. Who you talking to? You know what I mean? We had the rough ones like that back then. You know, nah, man, I'm trying to see you. You ain't saying nothing. And the police taking little John off and going to cell. And those was the police that was respected. So y'all that think you want to just argue back and forth, you know what I mean, with people and think it's not going to escalate to nothing, you never know what is on someone else's mind or what they are going through. So you need to stop it. Stop it. That's all I can say. Stop it. But, you know, let me ride back. Let me ride back. Because, you know, I got in the zone. You know, I like to ride. You know, I like to ride. You know, but rest again. Let's cheer this up a little bit before I go any further, man. All right, so, you know, I feel a little better now. I got my little music up, but, you know, rest in peace to Samaya, Spain, right? And let's say a prayer for her sister that got stabbed also, you know, her twin who had to witness this horrific crime, and she's definitely going to need, you know, therapy after this, you know. But, you know, the dudes was talking to the twins. He got rejected, and from there, you know, everything allegedly played out, you know. And the girls said they just wasn't attracted to him. But you know what's crazy? That nowadays I noticed that a female would give you her Instagram before she give you her number. And then it had to dawn on me why. I think that's because they feel more comfortable texting on Instagram than talking in person. And then when they run across people in person, you know, they think everyone is like in the beautiful circle that they was raised in, the right way to respect each other and speak your mind and things like that. But no one really taught them that they have to know that everyone don't have it all upstairs. So don't think because you have it upstairs, you raised in our beautiful little bubble like, you know, my sister was raised in. I got a sister that's a lawyer. Big shout out. I give my sister a round of applause. I give my sister, calm down, Mike, calm down. I give my sister a round of applause because me and her talk about topics like this, and she's been in school from she was 16. She went to Vassar, upstate New York, at 16 years old. I went overseas to Spain, Germany, Africa, you know, France, everywhere to get her education. She came back. She's real successful. But every chance I get, I make sure I let her know that they got nuts out there. Be careful. You don't want to run across one because I'm not trying to have to kill him for you. And if he violates you, I will handle him. So please don't put your baby brother in that situation. And she said, nah, I know better than that because I know how you get da-da-da. Besides that, everybody know that I'm your sister, so I don't get no problems. I said, okay, but still, And my daughters didn't get that because I wasn't here. And when I tried to give it to them and tell them you can't talk to men that kind of way, they say, nah, this ain't back in the day. We do what we want to do. We independent women. Baby, I'm not trying to have your face get cut up. I'm not trying to have you get killed. I'm not trying to have to go kill nothing for you. So please respect the men when you see them out there. And I'm using it loosely, I'm using it loosely. When you see the males that's out there, respect them because you don't know what they're going through. You see the females, you respect them. I know females that cut females' faces up just because they're, they're beautiful. Can you believe that? Now, these two, let me tell you about this. They said that the security guards from the club that they was at was outside and witnessed the whole incident, never tried to help and never called the police because allegedly they said they never did it because they didn't want to get shut down. I seen a little Instagram joint on that. I'm going to post some more pictures on my Instagram, so follow me on Instagram. I ain't even posting my life, just been posting big booty chicks. You know what I mean? Just to keep it moving. But, I've been on here long enough, man. I got to get my day started, but rest in peace to Samaya. And please share this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. It's all I ask. Let's keep it moving. All right?
Cheers. Toast the crime. Toast the crime. The crime.
Yeah.
The crime. The crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squealing to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the rules.